Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Y'all, they arrested 24 in the Bronx, two different gang fractions. This is what's going on in our community. We must talk to our youth. We must talk to our children. We must let them know that these people is not playing. They're trying to take their lives forever. Let's get this thing moving. This the way we're going to do it. We're not even going to have none of that over here. All right? We're going to work together, and we're going to get this thing popping. All right? Oh, yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed and hit the notification bell. Hit the notification bell if you're already subscribed. All right? You know what it is, Unique Mecca Audio, man. We're going to talk about this. This is what's going down in the Bronx right here in our community. We must come together. I'm sure that the elders, the neighbors, the mothers, the parents, the family members, they know these youth that's out there. At some point, we must talk to them because if not, we're going to lose them forever. They're going to take our babies away from us. They're not giving them a 1 to 3 like they were doing back in our time. You know, they're not giving them a 3 to 6. They're giving them dubs, all right? They're giving them decades. And this is what we're trying to prevent. We wasn't here. We dropped the ball. We got caught up in the war on drugs. We chose to make bad decisions. Now our youth that we come home to is making worse decisions that we made because we at least did it for $1, not to mollify it or justify it or trying to make it make any sense. It don't make any sense. There should be no time for violence. I'm going to show you a video so you can see what's going on. This is how they ran down and they executed a number of warrants. It's like, 176 charges against a little over 24 young men. That means they're trying to put them away for decades, for the rest of their life. Let's save the babies, man. All right? Come on. We got to come together, and we have to do this. Let me put this up here and get this thing popping. Remember to subscribe if you're not subscribed, and most definitely, if you subscribe, hit the notification bell. All right? Let's go.
Please, open the door.
It only took a few seconds between police announcing their arrival, executing an arrest warrant, and a mother unleashing her fury, barring police from entering her Bronx apartment to arrest her son, a suspected gang member. She put up a fight. After minutes of tense moments in a small vestibule, police were able to get control and get her 20-year-old son in handcuffs. They say he's a member of the 1300 crew.
You're probably the most violent guys that are still out on the street.
Police say the 1300 crew is responsible for wreaking havoc throughout the North Bronx, on the streets, in subways, and in NYCHA. Surveillance video shows a drive-by shooting, the victim walking down a street. He died right there. And the moment in broad daylight when an innocent 73-year-old woman, you can see her right there, falling to the ground. She's shot in the leg.
Now, how could you shoot a 73-year-old woman? My mother's 89. She's upstairs, safe and sound. I mean, imagine if this is your grandmother being shot. We must talk to the youth, man. There's no reason for this behavior to go on. It's like the purge, and they're going to lock them up and throw away the key. And this is what we're trying to prevent over here at Unique Mecca Audio. Please, okay, subscribe if you're not subscribed. If you're already subscribed, hit the notification bell. I'm going to finish playing this tape so you can see what is or what was going on in the Bronx and why these people came in and now they're taking our babies. We must stand up and speak for our babies. We must stand up and speak.
The bullet goes right through her leg. People deserve better than that.
And it's not just gun violence. The crew allegedly went on a 6-day robbery spree 2 years ago. They brutally attacked an off-duty officer while he was on a morning jog. This surveillance video shows him outnumbered, taking a beating behind that white SUV.
I have so much pain, in my back, my shoulder, my head.
Pix 11 News spoke exclusively with Officer Mohammed Chaudhry after he was released from the hospital. He was in bad shape then.
His life was shattered, changed forever. He'll never be the same. Never came back full duty.
After about 3 years of putting the pieces together and building their case, NYPD officers are getting ready to go out and get the last few suspects in custody. Pix 11 News has the only camera there before they roll out a moment of reflection.
Way back when you raised your hand, why did you take this job?
Assistant Chief Jason Savino believes reminding the detectives of why they took the oath will drive them to get closure for the victims.
Do you see the amount of police force that they're using to take our babies off the street because of the situations that they put themselves in because we did not speak up and guide them in the right way? I need you other podcasters, you other viewers, start podcasting and let's start trying to reach the youth. If enough of us do it, we'll be able to make a change. We don't need to be up here talking about each other. You know, we don't need to be talking about, you know, which rapper is it, he Cypher, Monkey Cypher. We don't need to get into all of that. What we need to do is save our babies, because in another 20 years, we're going to have the same problems that we're having now, but it's going to be even worse, the same way this is worse than the last 20 years, 30 years when I was on the street. I can't believe that this is what I came home to. We must do something to save the babies, man. Don't give up on them. Don't say they're not listening, because I'm going to keep it 100. I wasn't listening back then. There wasn't no one speaking like this. But the few times that they, you know, God sent a whisper by my ear to let me know that what I was doing was haram and it was wrong, I still kept doing what I was doing because I chose to do it. And then I got caught and I had to deal with the consequences to that. The consequences that was going to trial and seeing my comrade that I bought motor vehicles for, gave jewels and diamonds and women and jewels and everything else, sit on the stand and point me out and said, there he is right there. That's him right there. That's unique. That's who gave me the drugs. That's who sold the drugs. That's who did X, Y, Z. That's the way they pointed me out. And it broke my heart to see my comrade up there working for the other side. And then when I come home, they think that now we're supposed to be friends again. No, we was never friends then, because if we was friends, you would have never pointed the finger at me in the first place. But you pointed the finger at me because you was never my friend. So don't come at me now. Don't you youngins think that the brothers and sisters around you is your friends. They with you because it's all about opportunity. It's about the power, the fame, the rapping, the status, you know, the videos, the likes, the followers on Instagram, the TikTok. But it's not worth it when you got to sit in a cage for 26 years, going to sleep every night knowing that you got life plus 20 years and they expect you to die in prison. It's time to wake up, man. It's time to wake up.
Before sunrise, in a well-orchestrated approach, detectives drive to several locations and move in. They arrest 3 men, one by one. Anything you want to say for yourself?
Where am I? They bum rushed to my crib for nothing.
Talk about the dangers of these operations.
Anytime we prep for these types of large-scale operations, we always want to take into consideration all the tactics that we train for every day.
The department, working with Bronx District Attorney Darcel Clark, announces an indictment
Look at
against
this,
at
a
least
war on our
15 gang
babies.
members. Most of them face serious charges, including murder or attempted murder. Wrapping up this case for law enforcement is to bring relief to the community.
You feel like you're kind of doing something like a greater good, because our primary focus is to ensure that residents of New York City can walk the streets, be safe, worry-free.
If you pull the trigger in New York City, we're going to do everything in our power to hunt you down and take you off the streets, especially when you're striking innocent bystanders and endangering the lives of people just going about their ordinary lives.
Man, this is a sad time, man. We have to wake up. We have to save the babies. It's up to us. We made a lot of mistakes in our path, a lot of mistakes in our youth.
Assistant Chief Jason Savino.
Man, let me bring this on the full screen and talk to you, man, you know, so y'all understand. Look at the army that's coming for our babies. Please tighten up. Please, it's not worth it. Let's talk to the youth. We don't want to lose them for decades like they lost me, Lou Sims, Ferris, Peter Shue, Booby from the Booby Boys, Kaz and Sea-Dog from California, JR from Chicago, Antone White, Minx, rest in peace from DC. I mean, come on, Jabril from Philly. I mean, I could go on and on, man. It's not worth it. Too many of us was taken away for decades. For decades. Our children don't know us. I came home to family members that I don't even know, nieces and nephews, didn't even know they was born, and they're adults now. How do I reconnect with adults that I didn't even know, and all they knew was that, you know, my uncle locked up. That's it, nothing else, you know, for what? For selling drugs. He was a kingpin. So all they know of me is negative. So as soon as they see me, what could they say to me? What could I say to them? How do the communication come in after 26 years away in prison? When I went to jail, one of my daughters was 18 months. I came home, she was going on 28 years old. I don't know the woman standing in front of me, but I knew the child that I left behind. When I see my grandkids, my other daughter got my granddaughter. My granddaughter, when I came home, she was like 8 years old. When I went to jail, her mother, my daughter, was 6 years old. When they came to see me for the first time and I saw my daughter holding my granddaughter, I looked at my daughter and didn't even know the woman that was holding what I thought was my daughter's hand. That's how twisted my mind was. That all I remembered for my daughter is when she was 8 while I'm looking at this 6-year-old baby, and that was my granddaughter. I didn't know the woman that was standing in front of me because they transferred me out to Lum Park, California, Victorville, Atwater, Coleman, Florida, Lee County, Virginia, up Raybrook. You understand? They transferred me all over. ADX Supermax 5 years. I'm going to ride and give you one, man, because we ain't ride yet this one. I'm going to ride. My baby daughter that was 18 months, right? She was born in 92. She came to see me in 98. Right? In 98, so she was 6 years old when she came to see me. She was 18 months when I got locked up. She came to see me in ADX, and when I talk to her now, she always say, Daddy, you know, the first memory I remember of you is that jail that we had to go underground to go see you, and it had all the barbed wires and the police with the rifles out front. That's my first memory of you. My daughter's first memory of me is coming into the most secure prison in the United States of America, ADX Supermax. You know what that does to me? I don't want these young men that they're picking up off the street, these 24 that they got 176 count indictment. They charge 20-something young men with 176 counts. What they're trying to do is put the nail in the coffin and bury them alive. And it's our job to not let that happen. Don't sit here criticizing Unique Mecca Audio, because you already know what I'm going to say. Gunshots, gunshots, gunshots to you rat bastards and flip-flop wearing in public trolls that's trying to get involved in the message. They got their message to take our babies off the street. Yes, they violated, but no, somewhere along the line we dropped the ball and we didn't teach them to pick up a pen. Instead, we taught them to pick up a gun. And now we're in the condition that we're in. Where do we go from here? Where we go from here, what I suggest is that we talk to the youth. When you see these young guys that's out there about it, you know, let them know. Go watch Unique Mecca Audio. Go look at the dude that failed, that lost. He was on top. He thought he had everything. He thought he was living the American dream, because I thought I was the king. And then when they came in, just like they doing behind me in this video, they took me down and took everything. They locked me away in a cage for 26 years, man. When I went to prison, right? We gonna ride. I like to ride. We gonna ride. When I went to prison, my mother was in her late 50s. You know what I mean? When I came out of prison, she's 86 years old. I came home to my mother, who's 86. When I left, we was going to clubs together, dancing together, driving in a drop top together. I'm calling her, yo, Mom, I'll be at the airport in an hour. You know what I mean? Because they had the little Pan Am, had the phone in the back of the headrest then before the cell phones, where you could put your credit card in. And, you know, and back then, being that I didn't use credit cards, I used cash. I had a little Bell Atlantic credit card. that one of my girlfriends got for me applied. So when I go on the airplane, I could put that in and make a call and say, Mom, I'll be there in an hour. Because you never want to tell them too much ahead of time because you don't know if somebody done kidnapped them sitting there waiting on you. And now you call and saying you'll be there in 3 hours and you get them 3 hours to set up to, do they thing that, kidnap you, pistol whip you, torture you, or maybe even murder you and take your life. That's how serious it was. I watched the young M. Ace, right? The young M. Ace interview with academics. He said a lot of powerful jewels on it, that young man, but academics didn't know where to go with it from there because he's not from the street. Not to disrespect him, just keeping it 100. I would love to interview that man, but for right now, what I'm going to do is I wrote down the things that he said that was official about surviving on the street so you could understand the mind frame that you must live in, and then you decide if you want to live in that mind frame or if you want to get a job, you want to go to school, and you want to do the right thing and live a productive citizen. Like, let me give you one ride, because I like to ride. I like to ride. I got my two sons. My two oldest sons is 39 and 40 years old, right? When I got locked up, they was like 8, 9 years old also. When I got locked up, these two young men, I picked them up. We hanging out in my BMW. They get in the car and they get in the back seat. They want to play with their little games in the back. And I had to tell my son to move over and sit behind the passenger seat. Don't sit behind my seat. Because in my mind, they're living with their mothers, new men that I don't know when they might tell my children to put a knife in my neck. These are the thoughts that I'm having, but that's how I survived. Because don't think it can't happen. You don't want to hear about, a child stabs a father in the back of the neck from the back seat, and it's you, and you say, oh, that don't happen. It's a 1 in a million. Well, I had to make sure I wasn't that 1 in a million. So I couldn't even allow my children to sit behind me. To this day, I still don't allow anyone to sit behind me in the car. Period. I want you in my eyesight vision, so in case I gotta wrap my hands around your neck or put something in you to stop you from trying to harm me, I need to know where you at all times in my car. If you think that's twisted, then you're on the right path. You're on the right path. But to me, that's normal. It's all about survival. Look how they're taking our babies off the street for decades. I was my mother's baby that they took off the streets for decades. And I'm trying to prevent your children, your family members, your friends, your loved ones from being the next Unique Mecca Audio sitting locked up in a cage for 26 years. And I need your help. I need your support. Let's make this happen. My Cash App is on the screen. I don't care if it's $1, $5, $10, $100, whatever it is. $ Unique Mecca Hall. Hit the icon and make sure it says it was created in 2020. Remember to hit the icon and it says that it was created in 2020. Okay? My phone number is on the screen. Like I said, I got an iPhone. I even spend time talking to you on the phone because my job is 24 hours. I get called 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning. But I have to be available because that might be that one person that's thinking about doing the devilish deed because they high on perks or they just tired with the way life is going and might want to just take their life. So I chose to put myself out there, and that's why I asked for the Cash App when these rat bastards talk about Reverend Ike. Because we have to survive. Like they said, the game is to be sold, not told. Any one of you rat bastards, flip-flop wearing in public trolls that don't understand that, please just go to another channel. We don't need your comments. We don't need you at Unique Mecca Audio. Hit the notification bell if you already subscribed. If you not subscribed, hit the notification bell. Enjoy your weekend, and please talk to the babies. That's what we have to do. We have to talk to the babies, man. Until we talk to the babies and wake them up, we're going to always have this problem, and that's what we try to forget and prevent. Because life gets so hard, man, you don't know what's going on in someone's mind. You know what I mean? You don't know what trials and tribulation. That's why I say when you go on the subway, don't argue with nobody and don't make eye contact because right now they feeling like mad dogs out there. You look in someone's eyes and they look in your eyes and they see the fire and brightness and joy that you got your life together, and that irks them in the pit of their stomach, and all they want to do is just attack you and take your life. So to prevent that, don't go on that train and go looking people in the eye that you don't know. Just act like you don't see them, like they're invisible. Okay? Let's tap out. Cop the book of Rowan Harlem at rowanharlem.com. Hit the notification bell if you already subscribed, please. Hit the notification bell if you already subscribed, and subscribe and hit the notification bell. And you already know about the like button. Let's get this going. All right?
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be whoring uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours, so we can give back.